Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Vodacom has posted a 32.3% increase in interim profit with improved earnings. However, despite strong financials from the group, a multi-million rand once-off payout to Nkosana Makate in relation to the Please Call Me matter has raised concerns among investors. Vodacom was able to declare an interim dividend of 330 cents per share owing to the positive headline earnings. CEO Shameel Joosub says the results reflect solid execution and a more stable macroeconomic backdrop. However, stiff competition in the local market affected its South African operations. For more on this, I'm joined by SABC News economics editor Tshepo Mongoai to give us a sense of what all of this means. A very good afternoon to you, Tshepo. Vodacom's results show a 874 million rand hit, which, one can't help but read between the lines on the settlement amount which could have possibly been given to Makate, given the fact that Vodacom is not disclosing this. What should we make of it?
No, absolutely. Currently, there are a lot of speculations around exactly how much would Mr. Makate have received. The CEO indicated that it is in financial results, but obviously they are not in a position to disclose exactly how much the figure is. You had a number of trading houses and institutions and analysts speculating that he could have received around 500 million rand. But perhaps we can only hope for now that when the full results for the whole year are released, there will be a clearer picture of how much he would have received. And currently there's only speculation. The CEO, even though he was asked during the presentation this morning, he was not willing to disclose that, and he maintained that there's confidentiality on that particular agreement. But we're seeing that Vodacom continue to do well across. But in South Africa, of course, there's a lot of competition. MTN has really given them a run for their money. They have become more competitive in terms of product offerings that have come on board. Telkom as well, in terms of offerings around data. We have seen that there's a lot of operations. But the star performer for these results was Egypt, a growing market, which was recorded a growth of over 40%. Remember, in South Africa, the growth was single digit, just over 2%. So you also need to see that the likes of Egypt, the likes of Ethiopia, Kenya, those are the growth market. Of course, yes, South Africa contributes the lion's share of revenue, but I think the focus is to see where are those new markets going to come in. Egypt, one of the benefits is the fact that in terms of currency valuations, they've got a stable currency. Remember, they take heat because of those currency valuations that have not been stable for quite some time. The likes of Ethiopia, where we are seeing that the currency there has not been stable, so they're taking some heat. But they continue to gain market share. Talk of data, talk of the likes of M-Pesa in Kenya. Financial services, again, it's one that has really performed very well. Again, double-digit numbers that we're seeing across the continent. Although here in South Africa, I think we're seeing a growth of around 6%, single-digit, to show that the growth market is in the rest of the continent. Yeah. The focus is there.
Tshepo, after such a long and very public legal battle, one wonders why Vodacom would choose to keep the settlement confidential. Was the timing of the settlement perhaps just before the release of interim results strategic to maybe limit investor shock perhaps?
Yeah, there are a number of factors. I think one, the reaction to the share price might also been one of the factors that they've considered that perhaps it would have reflected. But I looked at the share price a few minutes ago, and you could see that that certainty is starting to be reflected in the share price. Of course, it fell quite significantly this morning. So you could see that investors are quite concerned about that, although there are some speculation around how much the figure could have been. I personally think that eventually we will know how much the figure is, And the feeling is that perhaps maybe it's a little bit a high number. And when the number comes out, I think the market would have priced into the share price, and we will not see such a significant reaction to the share price. So as time goes on, I think it will be built into the share price over the next few months. And when it eventually comes out, it will not be a shock to the market.
Very well. Thank you so much for that. SABC News economics editor Tshepo Mongoai giving us a sense of the implications and what it means with Vodacom's results showing a 874 million rand hit, when it comes to the Please Call Me matter.